Hey, I got it. Got what? I got a record. Oh, wow. Put it on.
For real. You know, it's tricky like a turtle. I'm not blue. I'm not blue.
Is it Friday already?
This isn't me just trying to laugh. It's just a go warning.
Dry sense of humour.
To all bet Mariners. Don't go to sea.
Oh, cheers, Pop.
Cheers.
You better put your headphones on there.
This is.
Yeah. Strapped in, lock and load.
Yep.
Righto.
Testing. Do I have to keep this here?
Yeah, oh, just fairly close. So, last time, the other day, Christmas Day,
Where did we get to?
I think you were about 19 and you were just on your way to Adelaide. Sound about right?
Yeah.
So what happened, like, so why did you choose to go to Adelaide again?
Well, I forget where we were. What was I shearing over on the coast, west coast, Cumbie Bay?
No, you hadn't got that far yet, I don't think.
Oh.
You had just finished up on the property, and you'd moved home.
19. By 19, I'd been in national service. Then,
Maybe you were 17 or 18.
must have been.
I don't know, we'll find out. Righto, so we just checked out where we're up to, and you were about to go rigging.
Yeah, that was, when it got too hot up north, and we didn't want to go down the southeast at the end of the year. So I come back to Adelaide, and I started working for Fricker Brothers, rigging, and that was a job where we were here 1 week and somewhere else another week, and then we finished up. I did that for a few years, off and on, when I wasn't shearing.
Okay, yep.
And they said, I just had a permanent job for me if I wanted to stop there. And I said, well, I can't get the money where rigging like I can shearing. And I said, oh no. And they made me another offer, and I said, no, I'll come January, end of January, I'll get pretty tight. I'll get back bush.
Yep. Sick of the city.
Yeah, back at the city. Okay. Yeah, I did 2 or 3 other little jobs and went to a bloke called Max Bailey. He had all these racehorses, and I was pretty keen on horses still.
Yep.
So he gave me a job labouring, and then the bricklayers weren't going fast enough, so he said, you can have a go at bricklaying.
Yeah, righto.
So that's when we first started messing around laying bricks or playing with mortar. Then I went from there, and I wanted a labourer and rigger to go and do the chapels up at Rosewater with this old Matt the Joker for Scotland. And that's all he did was build churches.
Yeah, okay. Must be a fair few churches getting built.
Well, they had to wait, 3 years to get him from New Zealand to come over here. And he just travelled around the world.
Yeah, right.
But he was painful. I'd always used to knock off before he would, and I'd start an hour early so I could load him up and take the bloody rocks and things up on a gantry, about 3-story up.
Yep.
And you get up there and he's thrown all the rocks down. He didn't like the way he'd laid them. So start again, have another go. And I did that for a few months, and I thought, I'll go with another shooter, and I got jack of that, so I got too serious. I said to Max, I think we'd better get out of here. We'll head north. Where are we going? He said. I said, I don't know. We'd go to Broken Hill, somewhere up there.
So, do you think it's funny that you got kicked out of school for not believing in God, and now you're building God's house?
Oh, well, that was worrying me.
Just still a buck.
Still quitting it.
Yeah. And so, what, you decided to go to Broken Hill?
Yeah, there was more contractors up there at Broken Hill, not shearing contractors, Snow Holloway and all those guys. And then there was Victorian teams used to come over, and you could always pick up a stand. And I was still shearing. I can't remember when I didn't shear 100. I have it written down somewhere. But I think I shore more 200s than I ever shore 100.
Yeah, right. A bit of a gun.
No, pop gun. Yeah. Anyway, we got as far as Peterborough, and there was an old bloke and his son shearing, doing, fairly sheds and crutching and that. I could always make more money out of crutching than I could shearing. He had to pull a lot more meat over the board.
Okay. Yep.
And he always had sheds in June, July around Ernadata. There was Kemps, who was the manager for Kidman manager, and Duck Isle. We finished Duck Isle, and then we went over to Mount Barry, and there was a few sheep there. And then we went over to Evelyn Downs, and that was a couple of months we'd been up there when there was all shearing down south. And from there on I just went from one place to another. Went down the southeast, went over to New South, a couple of sheds over there, up on the Paroo River.
Yep.
Yeah, and
so out of all these places, is there anything that really stood out, as somewhere as a really nice place
to live?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't until I came over and saw Kangaroo Island. That was a few years later.
Yeah, okay.
When I got married, I was shearing around Broken Hill. Instead of coming home, I'd be going to two up on Friday nights and paying the guy all your week's wages. And my wife was living in Adelaide. But in the meantime, since then, I've been in the National Service. And
well, let's just keep going with. Sorry, I cut you off a bit. You're shearing around the Paroo and places like that.
Yeah,
and then,
well, you never knew where your next shed was going to be until a few days before you finished one shed.
Yeah, sure.
So the bigger sheds like Curnamona and those sort of places, Melton. Then you got down further, you came south, the smaller the holdings were.
Yeah.
And then we go down the southeast towards the end of the year. Yeah. Like weekends we'd always be playing up here, there, or something.
Chasing women.
Oh, yeah, we had the shooters all that. Well, we thought we had shooters. You're there for a couple of weeks, and a few weeks later you're gone over the border or somewhere.
You're breaking hearts.
Yeah, no, it was a good life. Yeah, travelling around. Then once you get married, you just got to stop and think, well, gee, I'm getting nowhere far. And then a couple of kids come along.
So is this the part of the story where you meet Umar?
No, that was down the bay. I'd come home. Before I met Umar, I was going with a dancing instructor, off and on. She was secretary to one of the universities in LA, some professor, and her father was Professor Stormont. He's the one who improved the shock absorber for Wiley.
Okay, yep.
And
Like the Jeeps? Like the Jeep? Wiley Jeep?
No, the Wiley shock absorber.
Oh, okay, no, sorry.
They were one of the leading firms building shock absorbers and that sort of stuff in those days.
Yeah, okay, yep.
And she lived down on the Anzac Highway. One thing got to another and it got too steady. And I wasn't very keen on that.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, I did learn one thing. I was sure learned to how to dance, and it was a rock and roll day.
Yeah, righto.
We really get stuck into that. We used to go to this ballet, the semi-full ballet, so we got kicked out of there, and then come the motorbike days. So they bet me I wouldn't be able to go up these steps on a motorbike and latch onto a Sheila and get down the steps with the motorbike. You know, the law come after us. Reported that there's somebody running around the dance floor on a motorbike.
Yeah,
Anyway,
picking up women.
Picked up the Sheila and down the steps. And we went down south of the steps and down onto the beach. And the cops come flying after us and went down the wrong side of the steps and all got bogged in all the sewage along the seafront.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah, so we got out of that. But I lost Sheila.
What, off the back of the bike or what?
She wouldn't go with me anymore.
Oh, too crazy, that's why. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Those are the days.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I went away. That must be when I did my national service. Because that's the only time I lost my licence. Well, we didn't actually lose our licences, but we all had motorbikes when we were in the national.
Okay.
And we all used to go down to the city Friday night. And we always used to have a race with a peer passenger.
Okay.
And peer passengers in those days was 25 mile an hour.
Maximum or so.
Max.
Yeah, right.
And I had a Type 100 then. And I had a boat who was on the cattle station originally when I was Frank Ormond from down Port Albert. And we held the record for a few weeks. But then the cops got us. We left Woodside. And I forget which little town it was. We went through there in a hell of a hurry. And get down to Stirling. And they radioed, they didn't try and catch us.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't. Anyway, we got knocked off there, and there was about 15 of us speeding through all these little towns.
With someone on the back.
With a peer passenger.
Yeah.
And paying your back. And going back, but it was all full of grog.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And so we lost it, went to court, and they didn't know whose court we were going to be in, whether it was the army because we were in our army uniform,
Yeah.
or whether it was a civil court. Anyway, they abandoned the idea and we didn't lose our licence because
Yeah, right.
we stood in the...
I thought it'd be something you'd be like deep in the shit with the guard.
we weren't very popular.
Oh, fuck.
15 of us. Where
Yeah.
are they going to put us?
Yeah, I know. Tie you all up to a post.
Yeah. Anyway, we got out of that. And, it was like one big holiday. We went because they took us all from the bush.
Yep.
All B Company came from Whyalla and any of the Eyre Peninsula, Port Adelaide, all the ones that nobody else wanted. And when I went in the army, we first off we had all these parades and all the rest of it, and then they had 3Os and bring guns.
Yep.
We went out there, and they said, "All right, this is a home gun, this is a bring gun, this is 3O." And I said, "Oh yeah. I'm not listening." Something like. He said, "Howlin, come out." He said, "Get in the line with these." He said, "You can shoot off now." And I shot the possible with a 3O, and they couldn't believe it. And then one lady, he said, "But you've used a rifle before?" I said, "Oh yeah, I was reshooting for about 3 months." And they said, "Well, that's not on your listing."
You didn't put that information in them.
No. And they said, "Oh well, I shot the possible," and all these Louis, they couldn't hit a bull and ass around for a week. Yeah. So one thing led to another. I got a raw pat on the back for that. That didn't last long because the next weekend I went down to Adelaide. I was drunk as monkey, coming back on the motorbikes about when it was all lights out. And when you went through there, it was, "Who goes there?" "I do." Through we go.
Yeah, okay.
Off through the gate. Anyway, I went to get into bed. And I was pretty drunk. But this Louis kept up. I'll switch the light on because I was one of the closest to the light. I'll try to get into bed. Anyway, this Louis switched it off, and I switched it on, and I switched it off, and he switched it on. And he said, "Look, I'm going to grab." And he grabbed hold of me, so that was, I didn't like that very much, so I clobbered him. So I didn't clobber him, I clobbered the Queen's uniform.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So next thing I want, armed guard waiting for me outside, fall out, gunner howling, get out there.
Gunner howling.
Up to the CO, stand there, and that was the court. At any rate, he said to me, well, I don't know what to do with you. I'll send you, stop your leave. And I said, "Oh yeah, that won't worry me very much." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Oh well, I'll go bush, or I don't live in Adelaide. I work in the bush." And he said, "Oh well, there's no good in you stopping your leave." And he said, "Well, I'll stop it for 1 week, and you can have 6 days in the brig." This was in a plastic cardboardy bloody thing alongside his office with his secretary.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, this is good fun. So I've been in there for 6 days. I got the paper in the morning, a cup of coffee when I first.
So you were a secretary pretty well.
And yeah, I finished up doing the line with her. And she was one of the sergeant's daughters.
Oh, Jesus.
So that didn't help.
Fucking
Anyway, one thing led to another. And I'd be waving to all the blokes on route march every morning. And I'd have a cup of coffee saying, "Oh, there's nice coffee here, better than down there." Then I'd get smoker on the paper. And yeah, that was a holiday in there.
Yeah, bloody sounds pretty good actually.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, got out of that. And where did I go then? I went back shooting up around.
How long did you spend? So all up, how many years was that in there? Like
3 months in there, and then we went in Woodside.
Yep.
And then, and when I was in Woodside, I asked for special leave to ride in the rodeo that happened at Woodside.
Yeah, okay.
We go there. I got permission, yeah. And Max came up, and Max rode first time, and he went, "So great. This bloody horse through." Anyway, I get on this bloody horse, and with the yards were made of rope.
Yep.
The bloody horse went into there and got his legs tied up in the. I sort of got picked up off the horse. They had to cancel the day.
Yeah.
because the yards weren't good enough or something to safety standards when they first started the safety rank.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that didn't venture into anything, but I did have a couple of nights off. Yeah, well, Max was in an intake a couple of years before me. And he said, "Oh, you've got to expect this." He finished up. His brother and I were in together. Then a couple of blokes from Whyalla were in. And then a couple of Port Adelaide boys who were on cattle stations were in there. They were on Granite Downs. I was on Tile, New Crown. Then we come down south to Port Augusta, shore around Port Augusta. Then went over the west coast. Then went down to southeast. And up into Victoria. And then met the missus, and that made a fix on that. We come over to Campbell Island for a honeymoon.
So where'd you meet Uma or Yvonne? Where'd you meet Yvonne?
The town hall down the bay,
Okay.
Glenelg.
Yep.
And she said, "No, I'm not coming with you. You're too couth or something." He said, to me, well, I don't know what that is, but I got one of your earrings. If you don't come out with me, you're not going to get your bloody earring back. And she said, "Oh, well, I guess you've got me over a barrel." So she did come out, and that was the silliest thing she ever done.
Jesus.
Yeah. 2 years later, we got married. We had a honeymoon on Kangaroo Island because the bloke next door to Grandpa and Grandma, her mum and dad,
Yep.
His father lived next door to them down at Richmond. Anyway, he was the postmaster here in Penishore. And I got talking to him one weekend when he was over in Adelaide. And I said, "Oh, if you ever see anything to buy, sell, or rent, let us know." I said, he said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm shearer and stockman, and odd job man."
Yep. Gunner.
Gunner. So he said, "Oh," and so he rang Yvonne's mother, and I was out of Plymouth, and just up from Hawker. When that lad got lost in Wilpena Pound, we all lost. There was about 3 teams in Hawker, and we were all knocked off for 3 days looking for him in Wilpena Pound.
Okay.
And no, we never found him. And I was up at Healy Alley, and I was going up there, that was years later, and they found his body, remains inside the pound.
Yep.
It was that thick in front of you couldn't even see a crow flying.
So how did he get in there? Just go and walk about?
He went up there with his parents, and he wandered off from his parents.
Yeah, okay.
And, well, that was in Johnny Dunstan's day. He was the Premier.
Okay.
Labour Premier of South Australia. And when I finished up coming over here to Kangaroo Island, I bought the old place next door to the pub here, £1,200. And we didn't even have to take a teaspoon in it.
Had everything in it?
It had everything in, walked in, walked out.
Is that the one that was the old butcher shop or the bakery?
Yeah, it was an old shop years ago.
Yeah.
Apparently somebody tried to get in the window and they blew his balls out there. Shotgun set in the river in the window.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And we stopped there for about 4 or 5 years. And then I did a bit of work, but it wasn't shearing, for the council, pushing the road down through the sand hills there. Because you used to go down and big gum tree, pine tree, go around there and go along the beach to get to the other end. Either that or you had to go up the lane.
Okay, is this like towards Cape Willoughby?
You know,
That way?
Cape Willoughby's up this way. Yeah, going in that direction.
Yep.
Along the beach. Yeah. And well, I started working with Ben Mansell. He was building and fishing and doing odd jobs when I wasn't shooting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's about as far as we went down there. Used to go down the shoot for Teddy Chapman and the other end. And
Those early days when you first moved over, what was that like?
moved where over here.
Yeah, to the island.
You know,
Because it was very small back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
how many people they say live here now? 4,000
there's
Permanent
4,500 now.
permanent residents. Yeah. So like back in those days, what do you reckon the numbers were?
Well, it was 4,000 because it was all the soldier settlers.
Yeah,
They were
right.
opening up all those farms down at Pandana.
Yeah, right.
You know, not offshore around here for a lot of years because of the big old sheep down there, the first one. And they were tied up with a few other scooters down the other end.
Was it like because I know if you see the sort kind of the history of Kangaroo Island, it's like there's those early settler families that are massive.
Yeah.
And then was there like that outsider feeling coming in, or
Yeah, well, they were all, they used to say everybody around here had 6 toes.
yeah, okay.
Well, they did have 6 toes because one bloke cut off.
The other 4?
Yeah. I think that's how the story went. Yeah. I'd never played footy, but I never played soccer when I was a kid.
Yep.
Anyway, so I had to join the football club here. And the first week I was there, we've been netting down the sanctuary. And Swanson was the fishing inspector. And he used to be netting in the sanctuary at the same time. But he was down at Muston and we were back here at the YMCA corner. And while we could see his light netting,
Yep.
we knew we were safe. But anyway, the next day we were playing footy here. And who should I have to stand but this fishing inspector? And he said, oh yeah, well what are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm working with the Mansell boys. Oh, them, he said. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, we went fishing last night. He said, oh yeah, what are you netting? And I said, yeah. I said, I don't know where we went. It was a place where there's all little islands and all grapeweed in them. All the trees on straight away. So the only place you can net and you get grapeweed was in the sanctuary. I was standing on the boundary and there was a few of the blokes who used to come around. When we played Kingscote, we always had a flagger on the side of the thing. When the ball wasn't there, we'd all go and have a snore to this and we'd come back and stand apart. Yeah. Oh, we had some fun in those days. But footy got too serious in here.
Yeah, okay. So like this area, so you would play for, was this Dudley this end?
No, I played for
Penishore.
We were black and white.
Yep.
Then there was American River.
Yep.
And then there was Rosanga and Bandana and Wonky Land.
What's Wonky Land?
Right down the other end around Goss through there.
Yep.
And Kingscote.
Yep. So there's like a fair few football teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But we always used to have a good turn up at the matches. Yeah, and that's where Harvey Huxtable was down here at this oval. And he broke his leg there and he finished up having it amputated.
Really?
Yeah. And Rosie finished up doing his butcher trade
Okay.
in Kingston. That was a few years later.
So, how old were you when you guys moved over here?
I was 23.
Yep. How old was Uma compared to you? She's a few years younger.
19.
19. Yeah. So like, it's pretty crazy, like to, like, move over here and do a totally different thing. Like,
Uma couldn't boil a bloody egg when we came over. And then we had no hot water. We
Yep.
only had the wood stove. We used to heat the water on the wood stove and put it in the bath. Susie was a baby. Had to bath her.
Yep.
And then he'd want to have a bath because I was always the dirtiest shearing. I'd have the last lot of bath water. And that's the bath water had to be kept to do the washing the next day.
Yeah, right. Crazy, eh? So was no power at all back in those days?
No, we had a free light.
Yep.
12 volt.
Okay.
And I'd be away, I might be away for 2 or 3 weeks. And batteries all go low and she couldn't pull it out of gear, the free light. And she was always had to get somebody to come and give her a hand.
Bit of a rude shock from living in Adelaide.
I wish I had everything in
Yeah.
Adelaide. But, come over here and she had to pump the water out of the underground tank. The water wasn't running there.
Yep.
And the front of the house wasn't looking at the sea, that was looking back this way.
Okay. Yep.
The pub. When I moved in there was a copy. We had a cop, and he had turkeys all over the town. Anyway, I'd trying to grow a garden in my backyard. Joined his backyard. And I said I was trying to get this garden going, and the turkeys are coming in. He said, "Oh," I said, "I'll have to eat one of your turkeys. They're coming in." He said, "Oh, you go your hardest." So I made the opening a bit bigger, so the turkeys could come in.
Trapping
They
his
couldn't
turkeys.
go out.
Yep.
Anyway, and a few weeks later, he said, "Hey, you're eating a lot of my bloody turkeys." And he found that I was giving them to anybody else who wanted a turkey.
Oh, fucking hell.
And 5 years later, anyway, he left the island, and we bought his cow. Bill Moffat is the bloke who was up on the cattle station, and then he was the postmaster here. That's how I come over here.
Okay. Yep.
And that was a good time, that fella. Well, he left here. I think he retired, but he only had one eye. This cop, and he was at Oodnadatta, and they kicked us out when we brought cattle down to Oodna one year because we were all underage.
Oh, you said about that one, yeah.
Anyway, a few years when this boat started over here, I was going up to Adelaide, and who's on the bus sitting alongside me? And I said, "Oh, good day, Mr. Henwood." And he said, "My name's Danny." And he said, "You know me as Danny Henwood?" I said, "Yeah, but you don't remember me." He said, "Oh yeah, you were eating my turkeys and bought the cow off me at Penisher." I said, "Yeah, but you don't remember me before." He said, "Yes, I do." He said, "You were one of the little bastards I kicked out of the pub because you weren't old enough." At Oodnadatta.
He remembered.
Oh, he remembered.
Yeah, cheeky shit like you.
So that was the trip when I would go up to Adelaide. That was when the ceiling started.
Okay. So before Sea-Link, obviously for like people who haven't seen Sea-Link, it's like a big catamaran.
Yeah, but
And like,
before that, we
before
used to have, in the 60s, they had the Seaway, and The government had put on 2 different ones.
Yep.
But that didn't work. The government wouldn't subsidise any more of it. They were supposed to run on their own. The Troopers
Trowbridge.
was the other one.
Is that the one that went in the King's Coat?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they put all this money into it, and they kept on going broke. And this Peter March started building this little first, what was it called? Oh, sort of a half-bred speedboat thing carrying passengers across there. Because it used to take 9 hours to go from Kingscote to Adelaide.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if you had to go to Port Lincoln before you went back to Adelaide, it was, day and a half. So, yeah, there's not much more I can tell you about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, how did you get into like the commercial fishing side of it? Like,
Oh, well,
you went pretty deep in there. Like,
yeah, well, I finished up. I got a licence. That cost us £2 or something to get a licence.
Yep.
And then as the years went by, I started netting and buying dinghies, bigger boats, and then another bigger boat. Then I was sharking. And then they brought in all those restrictions and how many nets you could have on sharking, and how many hooks you could use.
Yep. How many sharks did you used to catch?
And the best night we had 52 gummers and schoolers.
Yep.
And because Gary, when he left school, Gary Mansell, he come and work with me fishing.
Yep.
And his father was on the grader here in Penneshaw, Peter Mansell, and I paid him his first week's share of the fishing, 3 times of what his father earned in a week working on the grader.
Yep.
So, and that week, I think we had, we had about 220 sharks, and that's how we all started fishing out there on the hard fast shoals. It was cleaning sharks because Gary couldn't lift after them; they were too heavy for him.
Yep.
And he started tidying the boat up, and I was cleaning these sharks. And he was throwing a line over. He was there a second, and I'd come up with a double-headed whiting. And while I was cleaning the sharks, I think he caught 12 dozen whiting by himself.
Yeah, right. So you're just on the patch.
That was all morning.
Yep.
Part of the afternoon. Then Safra will come around with a truck, pick the sharks up. That's when I got that 18-footer.
Yeah. So if I'll take a photo of this and put it up on with it all, but that's a pretty decent shark.
Yeah. And anyway, because we couldn't handle it on the boat.
Yep.
On the Viking.
So, and for people who are going to listen to this, like, what type of shark is that? Like,
That's a
great white. Yep.
Yeah. That was a female. And so we towed it into Christmas Cove, and it went aground because the tide was getting back. And Gary said, I'll get out and give it a push. I said, no, Gary, wait until I turn the boat and go over to that post over there where that's some rope out. Then we'll winch it over the other side. Well, when we were doing that, it started to come alive again. So I put a rope around its tail. So we had to get the net out. So we cut the net off. And we had another net out on the shoals again. Went back out there. There's another bloody one, but he was only a small one, about 10 to 12 foot.
Yep.
But he did 2 or 3 loops in the air and broke the net off, and away he went. So
He got away.
he got away. But, yeah, well, we had to kill it. When we got back, all the kids were down there from the school. And that's how that photo came to be.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you've caught a lot of like stuff in living on the island.
Well, then,
What's the biggest shark you caught?
that was,
That's the biggest one.
18 foot.
Um,
We couldn't lift it. Three of us couldn't lift its head, put it on the back of the truck. So one of the Wilsons, he shot up and got his tractor and we rolled it onto the 3-point linkage and lifted it up and rolled it onto
yeah, okay. Was there money in that?
Well, I was going to make a fortune out of it, wasn't it? And this bloke come around, because the buyer who bought the fish and that, he said, no, you do it, Roy. Look, I'll do it for you. Clean it and get it all, because I was going to put it out on the ants nest.
Yep.
Let the ants clean it. No, you're messing around. Anyway, he took it into there and he was buying from Tucson's. Fish buys in there. And then right the next bloody thing I know, he cleaned it up and the bloke he owed money to came in and took that as payment. Took my bloody jaws
Yeah.
as payment for what he owed it. And I know him. I never ever caught out with him. Gunther Schumacher.
Right, Gunter, if you're out there and if you are listening, you owe my pop some shark teeth.
But he this Downer, not Downer, I can't remember what it was around at Kingside who owed the money to. I went around him and I said, I'm coming around, I'm going to pick the shark up. He said, you won't be taking any shark from here because I'm going to have to police it. He said, I got that through this Gunther who owed me money. I said, it wasn't his to give you. And he said, well, I took it as payment. He said, you step into this office. And he said, I'll have you up.
Oh, jeez.
So I didn't want to go to jail.
No.
So, yeah, that's the story of the white pointer.
Yeah.
But we got other pointers, those blue pointers and marker over towards Normandale, where all those pine trees are, about a mile and a half out there, there's a gutter.
Yeah, okay.
Runs all the way along there. And we set the net along there one night. Next morning, pulling it up. One, cut that out, shoot it, because that's all you could do. They won't come over the roll or bow of the boat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so took us all only near all day to get the net up because there was 5 of them there. 5 in the market.
Yep.
From 8 feet to 12 foot, 14 footers. Because they were horrible. They just jump out of the bloody water.
Thrash, yeah.
Yeah, they made a mess. Yeah, and then when the sharks sort of thinned out, Marine Man wanted, and I ran that boat, Caroline, and we went sharking over there because put another reel and another length of net on, and I was catching live sharks and live fish because we had a well in that his boat.
Yep, yep.
But, yeah,
What was the idea of catching them live?
well,
For the Marine.
Man.
Yeah, okay. For like kind of like a Sea World.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they built it at Westby.
Is this the like is this like the same time you caught dolphins or something?
Oh, he used to catch dolphins.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it had a net, like a hoop on it.
Yep.
You stood on the bow of the boat, and when the dolphins come up, and the third time they usually come out of the water, you just drive it down and they go into the net.
Yeah.
And away goes the sharp of all the bloody rope, spinning out. And you've got to winch them back.
Okay.
But you've got to get them so they're not hurt, damaged. You get them, roll them into a tarp, then put them into the well. There's a few of them fretted and died.
Yeah, okay.
And we'd go and get them up. Then he wanted seals, so the only place where you had a permit to go and get them on the pages. Well, nobody goes on the pages. You can't get on it. It's impossible. You reckon?
Big rocks, yeah, it's just all rock, isn't it?
And he rang me. He said, "Oh, can we get those sharks? Can we get any seals?" And I said, "Oh, well, you really want them?" And I don't know whether that was £1, no, it must have been. Yeah. And he said, "I'll give you $500 for each seal." Well, I didn't ever seen that much money before. And I said, "Oh, well, I'll get them if you want them.
Yep.
But I won't tell you where we're going to go and get them." I said, "You get the plane here and the bloke who's going to sex them, because you can't tell the sex when you look."
Oh, okay, yep.
When they're still sucking them up. So I forget who came with me. And there's two of us, and we went down to Sioux Bay. We put a bag over them, and then they'd be squawking, and that should carry the bag up the beach to where the car was. I had a snipe. And no, that's a male. Take it back. Then we finished up. The whole colony was up in squawking and carrying on.
Oh, gee.
Anyway, we finished up.
They're a little bit territorial, aren't they, too?
Yeah, right, yes. And we had mother seals chasing us up. And whenever we got two or three. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, got in the car, and it was only just breaking day.
Oh, okay, you got in there early.
Oh, yeah. We had to get out of there. And we got back here and I put them on their plane up in here, and they flew them back to Adelaide, and I got a cheque for $1,000
Yeah.
for the morning.
Oh, jeez.
But I got other fish and sharks down off Emu Bay there. Shark in there one night. I got this ground shark. They usually just lay at 6 or 7 foot. And I got him and chucked him in the well. And I rang the boss. And he said, "Oh, yeah, I want it." We had this thing from Emu Bay over to Normanville. To get it fairly close in there. They rowed out in the dinghy, put the shark in the dinghy in a wet bag, and then they lifted it into this big tank, a circular tank with a diver, and he had to keep on moving.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep.
Well, they got it going in about 3 or 4 days it took it, because it was all stressed. And then it cleaned up all his fish, and it'd be laying there, and the next thing it would come up and go chomp, chomp. And he said, "That bloody ground shark," he said to me, he said, "is cleaning up all my other fish." I said, "Well, you have to put it in the tank by itself." He said, "No, we'll have to get rid of it."
Okay.
After we steamed all the way from Emu Bay,
cost a fortune.
unloaded it. Yeah, I was supposed to be getting paying for the fuel, and then I got reimbursed. But it didn't work that way. So I'll give that up. Went back on there.
Yep.
And we were just netting down here. That over up there where we filled the jetty up. It's 13 tonne there.
You got 13 tonne in one go.
In the morning, yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, we'll just let's just go out. Like, what other crazy stories you got from fishing days? What do you got? Spit them out.
Well, we always used to use dolphins for craybait.
Yep.
And you just go along, and when you're on the bow of the boat, we had a harpoon.
Yep.
On the rope, on the harpoon. And the harpoon, the first one I harpooned, I picked the biggest one. And this big dolphin took off, and 4 of us couldn't lift it on board.
Yeah, okay.
Let that one go. He said, go and get another one, but get a small one. So anyway, small one I got was enough bait for 3 days.
Yeah, okay, yep.
50 pots. So it was, everybody used dolphins for that boat.
Well, there's a fair few over here, really, isn't there?
No,
And what about the time you were saying about the whale carcass here in the bay?
oh, the one down here in Christmas in Penishal.
Yeah, Hog
Yeah,
Bay.
well, that got washed up, and Zealand was around in his boat, and Buick, Nigel Buick. He had the Lady Buick, that was 57 foot, the boat. So, and then they got got washed up in here, and we got a carnival here about 3 days later. So we had to get it off the beach, the council. So they employed these 2 blokes with these big fishing boats. And anyway, I used my boat going in between them.
Yep.
And I went up, they got the museum or the science blokes from the university, they come over, they were going to cut the jaws out and do this and do that. And, you know, they had chainsaws standing on it, the whale, cutting it out. And this, I was sitting up there having a cup of coffee with Bill Zealand, and he said, look overboard. This big shark white was going in, and as they were revving the chainsaw, it would take off and go back, and then it'd come cruising in again, and then rev it again, and then shoot again. And this went on and on and on for a little day. Anyway, the tide started to come in, and they got ropes on, and they towed it out into the passage, and they were supposed to take it around Willoughby. Anyway, they got down out of Antechamber Bay, about 2 miles out there. Oh, this will go out with the tide anyway. The next day it was washed up in Antechamber Bay, in the corner.
Yeah.
And
Which is kind of around the corner, it's not...
Yeah.
Down
into in Antony, not past Cape Willoughby.
No.
And we decided we were going to go and catch one in that tinny. Because there was about 7 or 8 of them cruising around, and they kept on getting washed up, and these boats trying to catch it, lorry and all that, off the rocks. Kevin was there down there too. And anyway, it was with Fred Flashbar in his boat. And there was Shorty, Rosie, TC, and myself, Fred. 5 in City. And we're looking now, and we said to Rosie, well, we haven't got any bait. You have to go ashore, and we couldn't go riding.
Yeah.
So Rosie and TC, I think, they went in there, and we said, we'll cut a lump off
The whale.
the whale. So they did. Anyway, they're coming back. It looked as though they were walking on water to get on the boat that bloody quick.
Oh, they were swimming.
Yeah, they had to come out where we were.
So how many sharks you have in the water? Like,
There was about 5 of them all cruising around.
and then
Wow.
and then Uncle Rosie and that
Yeah.
swimming to the shore. Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Anyway, we got there and we're saying, oh, there's one, we'll wait, see if we can catch that one. And they'd come in and grab it and shake a piece and then come back out. Yeah, well, we're trying there, and we had to rod out. Next thing, one came in, and we didn't know where it came from. Just came from under the boat and grabbed the bait. And away it went. Took us, 3 hours. And it took us out there into the middle of the passage, back in. And it wasn't hooked in the mouth. It got hooked in the side fin.
Yeah, okay.
And it had all the bloody. Anyway, we wore it down and got it in, and it kept on coming up and hitting under the thing, like the tinny.
So you're in a tinny, 5 dudes, catching a shark in the middle of a passage.
Anyway, we're
No
getting
worries.
closer. And so Royce and TC's got these bloody rifles and they're firing. And I'm saying, you can't, it's no good trying to hit it when it's under the water. It's got to be on top of the water. And there's all people walking along Andy-Chamber Bay Beach. And I said, you're going to kill some poor bastard. The way it's going bang, 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 bang.
They probably think, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, in the end, they did kill it. And so we thought, well, geez, what are we going to do now? We're not supposed to have it. So we towed it back down to Cuttlefish Bay, just this side, and cut its head off there and let it go. Just as well it floated off and went down the path.
Oh god. I'll just attract more sharks.
Yeah. That was one story.
So what was it like? Because you've got 5 kids. Mum being one. 5 kids?
Yeah.
Yep. What was it like raising kids in Kangaroo Island?
I don't know, I was never home. Oh, yeah, it was. One day we had a quid and the next day we didn't have enough to feed them.
Yep.
We got through. This survived.
Do you think it was beneficial, have mum always tells stories, about the freedom they had to do things,
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good life, I reckon.
Yeah. They did whatever they wanted. No stopping. Like, when they play netball, they had it on their own. There was about 5 of them in one team. And then I got kicked. Told them I couldn't come and listen and watch them. I got too uptight when they were.
Were you the coaching from the sidelines?
Yeah, but the coach wasn't very good. Yeah.
Oh, well, what about we leave there? How at this stage, because you're talking about Uncle Kev and Uncle Rosie and all those guys. So how old are you now?
Oh, well,
stage of your life?
I've been 40 then.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've done another 20-year block.
So, yeah, we skipped a bit there and then.
Yeah. Was there anything we missed out on? Probably plenty.
Lots of time. One weekend we all decided, all the blokes, we'll go out the coast. It was on close to Christmas. We'll go out and get some crayfish out Cape Hart. We all went out, about 12 of us, on this truck. Cape Hart, you haven't been out
No.
there. Nobody goes there. But there's a dry islands, and we used to go out there, and they used to use penguins for bait, and we chuck each bait and salmon in the shallow waters out there in the dry water. The tide goes out and the crays come out chasing the bait you chucked in.
Yep.
And you just keep on pulling, the cray keeps on following to stick a knob net on and shoot back.
You got it.
Well, I think we got 20 odd crays that afternoon, and we were stinking hot, and we didn't bring any cold beer. We never had any ice, but we had flagons of port, and we drank this hot port, cooked these crays and had them all hot, and then we all wondered what about the shits the next day.
Crook as a dog.
Crook as a dog. So we've been out there with wasted all these crays. That was a waste.
Yeah, because I was funny the other day. Cousin Claire, she put up $128 a crayfish now, and I sent back a photo of you just smashing a cray. It's just I guess you can't take that for granted being over here. That availability of seafood. It's awesome.
Mm. What we had 3 or 4 crays in the last few days.
Yeah, living the dream, really. Yep. Oh, well, Pop, maybe we'll leave that one there. And thanks.
My ears start ringing. Has that at all?